Hey everyone, today I'm sharing with you how to make a very roomy handbag. I have a few fabric today, and that's all. So the first, I have it in here. Let's just go for the pockets. The two inside pockets here that I cut, the interfacing I cut is 9 inches by 9 inches square, and I use midway interfacing, and the fabric here 9 inches by 18. Fold it in half, and then I iron the interfacing on this side. So you go into sew on the side here on the top, go to here, leave about 2 inches open, and go from here down and go to here. Do the same thing to this piece. You have 2 for inside pockets. Let's put this away. I have the handle. Instead of cutting one handle for each side, I do the whole thing, and then after that I cut after, and I cut it in here that 3 inches wide by 42 inches long. I fold it in half and then fold it again, and it's like this, and I iron the whole thing. You go to sew the top line and the bottom all around that, and then I have two fabric right here, the main fabric and the lining fabric. This is the lining and this is the main fabric. This is big. I already folded in half here. It's long, and it's not that long, but my table is limited, so the size of the interfacing, I use heavyweight interfacing, and the size is 18 inches wide by 25 inches long. So I fold the main pieces in half. I'm going to use this one. This one I go up on the corner here, that is 3 inches, and then I'm going in at 3 inches and a quarter, and I go into both sides here. So everyone, after I sew these two pockets and then the handle, with the handle you can cut in half, so then you have two, one for each. Okay, just fold it in half like that, and then from here you can cut. Let's just put this on the side, and then we'll do the pockets here. So everyone, after I iron and everything, this opening space, you're gonna top stitch the top and top stitch this bottom. Same thing to this one at the opening space. Right here, you're gonna top stitch and top stitch. So after I top stitch on both sides, this side and this side, I'm going to mark on the bottom here at 3 inches and a quarter. 3 inches and a quarter. On this side, 3 inches and a quarter. And then I'm going to flap this up. So fold it in half this way. You can mark the center. From here, from the center, you're gonna sew this down. Same thing to this one. You're going to fold it in half. Center, sew this line down. So everyone, after I sew on this and I sew on this, let's bring back the lining piece. This is the lining. This is the right side of the lining, and I still have to fold. I'm just folding in half so I can mark the center at one time. Like that. And the center line right here. So from the center down, I'm going to mark 2 3/4 of an inch. And I place this right the center, right there. You're gonna make sure it's even. You're gonna sew this here, sew on the bottom, and sew it on the side. Turn into this side, you're gonna do the same way. The center line right there, going down 2 3/4 of an inch. Everyone, after I sew this pocket in here, this is one side and then this one in the other side. Let's just mark the side here so we can later on add the zipper. So I'm gonna mark from each side on the left end. I'm going to mark 3 inches, and then from the right side in, there's another 3 inches. Okay, now I'm gonna put the lining piece away. I'm going to bring the main side and do exactly the same. Okay, so 3 inches on each. I just want to get ready, so when I do the sewing, everything will be ready for me. 3 inches, 3 inches. Other side, same. Let's just put that on the side and we're going to do the zipper. So with the zipper, I have cut in here 13.5 inches zipper. Alright, and at the end here, I'm going to tear this in half this way, and at the end here, about 1/2 inch, I'm going to cut the teeth off so I can slide the zipper slider. Cut off the teeth like 1/2 inch. And then the slider, I'm gonna slide it in. Use my technique, you never fail. If you fail this, I don't know what to say. And then when it go to here where it meet the 1/2 inch, you going to slide this like that. So after the zipper slide in here, I have cut in here 2.5 inch by 2.5 inches. I just want to make it bigger, and they happen in at the end here. I'm going to cut that. I just want to make sure everything is even. So the right side facing right side, and the fold I just fold, it marked right in the center of this. 1/4 of an inch, you're gonna sew this, sew this. So after I sew 1/4 of an inch, I go into the right side, pulling this down. I'm gonna iron this. I just want to make sure I have plenty of room here. So go into here, I fold it in. And on this side, fold it in also. I'm gonna fold a 1/4 of an inch, just like so. Iron this. And then from here, I'm gonna flap all the way up to here to meet with the line. Sew it here, sew it down on the side, and it here. So everyone, after I go over this zipper end, so on this end right here, we need 1/2 inch to bring in the folders. So I'm gonna mark 1/2 inch, and then 1/2 inch here. And we're going to fold that back in so we can sew. For that, you can hand sew that in to look it nicer. But when you're done sewing, it's gonna be inside anyway. So to do this, I'm gonna fold in this way. The 1/2 inch, bring into this end of the zipper like that on the top. When you sew in that area, so it won't show on that. So sew this on to here, the side. This little thing like this you can do hand sew. You don't need the sewing machine, but if you want to, you can run on the sewing machine the straight line down. So like that. And you have the end of the zipper is nice and covered like that. Do the other side, same. So everyone, after the zipper is done, I'm bringing back the main side. This is one side of the bag, and then the other one is hanging down here, just so you know, okay? This is one side, and this is where I marked earlier, right here. I'm gonna bring the zipper back. With the end of the zipper, I'm gonna turn in this way, okay? And I'm going to unzip this. The very end here, it go to where we mark. It's right there. Okay, and it stop where we mark. Right here. You're gonna bring the lining piece back. This is the lining piece. The center is still there where we fold earlier. Make sure everything is lined up. Right here at the zipper where we marked the 3 inches right here. And the 3 inches we mark on the lining piece. Touch it right there. When you sew, you're gonna bend this down and sew it, okay? But I'll show you when it's there. You only sew these two, not the zipper. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then everything else here line up. You're gonna sew all the way to here, go all the way. Remember, zipper pull down so you don't sew on it. When you sew, you lift it up, but I will show you when I get to here so you remember. To move the zipper out of the way, move it down this way, and then bring this back, and you only sew these two fabric, not the zipper. One after I sew on the zipper, you're gonna turn into the right side. It would start press. Top stitch this. So you're going to press. You're going to top stitch this straight line. Everyone, after I top stitch in this side, so you're going to bring the right side touching this side here. And remember that the 3 inches right here, up like this. On top of over here. Let me turn into the other side so you can see, okay? I'm gonna flap it into this side. So the right side underneath here, the zipper. Clip it where the mark. The end right here where we sew and you stop, and we bring the zipper down this way. It's right here, but when you sew over there, you make sure you pull it down. All right, now this is that, and then you're going to bring the lining side up and put on top of it. This time it's easier because you're gonna make sure the 2 ends is even, everything, and then just sew this like begin. Then when I show you how to sew the other side, this side you're going to do exactly the same. You're gonna sew, pull this down, sew it from here all the way over here. But remember, pull this down and sew from here to there. So now I'm turning to the right side so I can top stitch on this side. You're gonna top stitch this side all the way on the floor so you easy can see. Now after I top stitch in this side, we'll go on to do to the back here, inside out like that, and you're going to separate the main side and the lining side so we can sew and box the corner and everything. Make sure it's you're going to pull this down so you don't sew on it, and then the sew line, everything have to match up, okay, so it can be even. You're going to clip it all around. But on one side here, you're going to leave about 4 inches open. So you're gonna sew from here up, leave this open, sew all the way down. And then on this side, sew all the way down. And then after that, we're gonna box the corner for that one, this one, and this one. Everyone, after I sewed around in here, and I left it here 4 inches open. Remember, you have to unzip the zipper from the inside. If you forget, it's time. You just put your hand in here and unzip all the way, just like that. Simple. Anyway, so you go into box the corner so at the center and everything is match up. You clip your pin, you do whatever you want to do. You're gonna box all that 4 corners, a quarter up and in seam allowance, sew on this, and do this one too, and all 4. Okay. So everyone, after I boxed the four corners here, so this is the man and this is the lining. I'm gonna bring the corners of this man's the lining side. I'm gonna go one side at a time, and I'm going to bring this over to sew together with this man piece side. Okay, so we're going to clip it together. So that way that when you take thing out from the lining and the man, it won't pull out the lining piece. Sew this side, and when you're done, or if you have room to do this together, you can too. Like, I don't want to confuse you, but like this is the other side. You also have to bring this over. This is the lining, and this is the man. Make sure you do this too. How simple that is. The sew line in the center, meet together, and then you go on to clip it. Everything is going to meet up here on this side. Same thing. Sew this together too, so you have two sides. Okay, after I sew on this two together, and then the other side too here, so we're gonna go in inside out. We find the opening space that we left it open earlier, so going to go from one side to the other as long as you take the whole thing out, and so we can iron the whole thing, and then we'll add the handle. And that's basically it. Inside here with this opening space, you're going to sew this back in. Okay, sew this back. Everyone, after I sew the inside, I utilized it, and now we're going to fold it back, the sew line and everything. Wrap it down so we can mark the center for the handle. So you're gonna go one side to the other side. We're gonna mark the center of this. So A.5, this is 17 inches wide, so we're going to mark A.5. I don't want the pin, so I'm gonna go and clip in like this, so I know that the center. From the center out, I'm gonna mark 2.5 inches. Center 2.5, and then from the 2.5, I'm gonna go down 1 3/4 of an inch. 1 3/4. Same thing here, going down 1 3/4. Want to make sure it's even. All right, so you're doing the same thing to the other side. Flip into the other side and do this same thing. So for the handle, it's right here, that 1 3/4 of an inch. And then you're going to turn this, don't make it twist. Okay, so make sure it can go in right here, that way we mark. Okay, when you sew 1/4 of an inch, similar on sewing this, 1/4 of an inch, sew on this, go to the other side, add another handle for this side. So everyone, after I sew 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch, I'm gonna flap this up. You're gonna stand it up so it won't twist or anything like that, or it won't pull. Gently pull it straight up, not to pull like all the way, you know, like crazy pull. Make sure it's straight, nothing like make it wrinkle or anything like that. You go all the way up like that. Okay, and then I pin this, pull it gently up make sure it's straight. Try to stay straight. That's my friend used to say. Okay, so when you sew this, you're gonna go right here where we top stitch. Don't go on the zipper. On the fabric here, you're gonna sew it here, go in here, go on the bottom, go on the side. Same thing to here, you do the same thing. Go on the top here, sew it down on the side, on the bottom, and go it up. Everyone, after I sew on the handle on both sides, it looks so pretty. So you can see that we have that end right here with an extra. Folding this like this. So coming down here 2 inches. Right here. This is the line. Right at the fold, you're gonna sew this down. And same thing to the other side. You see this side right here where the zipper we stop. Hold this down. And here too. So on both sides, 2 inches. So on the fold. So from the top, sew it down on the top, sew it, and on this side, right on the top, sew here too, same thing, sew. All right, everyone, so I sewed it here. Remember, when you sew, you always have to start with the basket and done with the basket. Yeah, the name tag. So if you don't want to sew the name tag, you don't have to do it. But everybody is different, so go ahead and sew the name tag if you have one. If you don't, it's optional. Everyone, I finished, and it looks so roomy. Look at the big giant bottom of this bag. This is good for lunch box, lunch container that you bring lunch to work or whatever. I just give you an idea how to do things, but you know, you decide whatever you want to use it for. I'm going to show you the bottom. The size of the corner here is really big. This is 7 inches. Very good size for a lot of lunch in here. 11 inches on the bottom. And look on the top with this corner right here. It is so cute. Look at that, everyone. This side, so adorable. And this one right here, you can put your wallet, your phone, whatever. And then here you can put your lunch box on here. And the height of this is, I'm gonna go from the inside because it's hard to do this. 8 3/4 of an inch, and it's really good size. So I'm gonna put the box, this box, right across like this. You see, if you put your lunch in here, it can carry your lunch, and actually this can carry the watermelon. Put a lot of things in here. Whatever you want to put it in here, put it in here, and it can. I'm just giving you an idea how to make things, but it's up to you. You wanna. Okay, that's the phone, and then you zip this. How beautiful, easy to do with the zipper thingy here. So cute, and the name tag is, it's beautiful. Look how pretty that is. I love the size like this, and it's big, and it's good size for you. That is so cute, everyone. Look at that. Look at on the side of this. So pretty. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for the people who always comment on my video. I love reading your comments, so make sure you write me a comment. Let me know how things go, how you like the bed, and whatever. Love you. Stay safe. Take care, everyone.